Hello everybody, this is Bangkok-Ian here. Sorry for the lack of videos. Work's been absolutely crazy past couple of weeks, and excuse me, I'm just having my breakfast here in the office. No one's in yet, so I thought, yeah, make a video. Coffee and Thai donuts, lovely. What was I saying? Yeah, not really made any videos the past couple of weeks. As I said, work's been absolutely frantic, and my mother's over in Bangkok from the UK because my son's on school holidays, so my mum's come over to spend the time with him, so it's lovely. But that means I'm gonna go home. I'm really busy with the son. He's missed me all day, and I'm going out here, there with my mum, watching movies and shopping and all that stuff, so just had no time to make any videos. Anyway, this video is a video response to the latest Friday Foursome, which is all about your 4 gaming irritations. Yeah, quite a few of those, and I think I've got some okay ones. Wow, lovely coffee. Okay, first one. This drives me mad every single year. It's the winter games flood. I mean, this year it started, September 1st, when you have Metal Gear Solid 5 and Mad Max coming on the same day. Both really long games, both great games. Of course, with the winter games flood, there's so few winners and so many great games just get waylaid and forgotten about. I mean, the same thing I'm pretty sure is going to happen to Mad Max. I don't think we're going to get a Mad Max 2. Which is a crying shame because it's an absolutely brilliant game. I mean, just look back at all the other hidden, all the other games in the past few years that got released by these publishers thinking, oh, here we go, this is great, we're gonna make a fortune. Did nothing, even though the games are brilliant, and we don't get a sequel. Psychonauts, Beyond Good and Evil. Yeah, how long have they been teasing a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil? I don't think we're gonna get it. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I mean, why can't they just wise up and stagger their releases, especially the original games which aren't sequels? Release it in March, April, May. I mean, if Mad Max had came out in May or June, that would have tided everyone over during the summer. Oh, phone's ringing, I'm not answering that. Wait for the secretary to get in. Oh, damn, hold on. Sorry about that. Phone's nightmare. Where was I? Oh yeah, damn winter games flood. Yeah, if Mad Max had come out a couple of months earlier, it would have done far better, and we could have maybe get a Mad Max 2, you know. Anyway, that's gripe number 1. Number 2, is it me, or are there a bit too many open world games out right now? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love open world games. It's just that I don't think that every game needs to be open world. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto games, brilliant games, and yeah, I love The Witcher 3. But I mean, it's so hard to get the story right with open world games, because if you don't, because they're so big, and you can miss important parts of the story if you're not careful. And I just worry that all these big publishers are just looking down all the big sellers and saying, oh yeah, this is made this much and it's open world, this is made this, it's open world. And in a year's time, every game you're gonna get is gonna be open world, and I'd missed that, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I love Metal Gear Solid 5, that's open world, but is it a real stealth Metal Gear Solid game? Not really. It's still a great game, I absolutely love it. But they could have made, something very similar to the original Metal Gear Solid. Instead of being open world, set in this huge, this base, and just like in Metal Gear Solid 2, just infiltrating a base with all the new PS4, Xbox One graphics, and that would have been brilliant. So yeah, there's a bit too many. I mean, would you want an open world Last of Us, an open world Drake's Uncharted? No, because the story is too important, and it just would be nowhere near as immersive. So too many open world games right now. Yeah, I love them, but they're too big. I just don't have time to finish every single one of them. And I like having the old, 5, 6, 8 hour games, that you can just plow on through, have a great time, and be told a really good story with a beginning, middle, and end. And so yeah, I do like a bit of both. Let's see, number 3. It's the Nintendo online store and how much a wasted opportunity it is. I mean, we all have to get used to these stores. It's going to happen, especially in the consoles that come out next. And but Nintendo store stands out because it seems to me that they could make it so much better, because Nintendo have been making consoles for 30 years plus. Why don't they take more advantage of that? I mean, the Nintendo store, why don't they have every week a Game Boy game, Game Boy Advance game, SNES game, N64 game, GameCube game? Yeah, Wii games, due to the size, that could be difficult because everyone's hard drive would fill up too much. But not just Nintendo. Why not get with Sega and also release Master System game, Mega Drive game, Game Gear games, Dreamcasts? Why don't they do this every week and have cross-buy, so the games that would work on the 3DS would also work on your Wii U, and have them priced reasonably, not the ridiculous prices they're at now? But why don't they embrace their retro heritage and release a shit ton more games every week on a certain day? And that would make my life wonderful. I would love that. I'd be buying them every week just to play them on Nintendo hardware. And I like the convenience of the retro games on the Wii U, on the 3DS, where you can just have virtual saves, save wherever you like. So I love those old games. I think they're brilliant. And why aren't they doing it? It would make them an absolute fortune. They wouldn't have to do all these mobile phone games that they're talking about. And if all the games are locked to your Nintendo account, when the new Nintendo console comes out, and if you could play them on the new ones, all linked to your account, that would guarantee sales of the new Nintendo console. I mean, it just drives me mad that I think they're really missing the boat here, because as I said, online stores are not going away. It's just the way of things. Let's see, the last one. It's how that, looking back, the new gen of consoles, they're a bit underpowered compared to what was gone before. I mean, I've always been a PC gamer. Also, I got my PC when the Super Nintendo came out, because we were using them for work, and they'd be playing games at work, the old Prince of Persia and all that stuff. And so I bought PC for Wing Commander, and it's great. And one thing did stuck out: whenever they released a new console, like the PlayStation 2, PC always took a couple of years before it became on a parity with the latest consoles. Problem is, these PlayStation 4, Xbox One, they're pretty much average PC specs, I mean, I've just upgraded my PC, so it's the state of the art. It's bloody awesome. And that just pisses over anything that the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One can do. And I was thinking, this is not normally the case. I mean, normally there's such a huge leap when the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, when they came out. They weren't huge leaps above the PC, because they're just glorified PCs basically. And I think if they do a bit more customization with the graphics chips and made them a bit more powerful, I think there'll be a lot more future-proof. I don't see this generation lasting the 10 years that the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 had, you know, because straight out the gate, especially with the Xbox One, with 1080p 60 frames a second, I don't think we're ever going to get that consistently on the Xbox One. Yeah, racing games are simple, like Forza 6, graphically, and the AI, racing games are very easy to do, I believe, at 60 frames a second in 60p. But I mean, Tomb Raider is not going to be 1080p 60 frames a second on the Xbox One, and that's their big exclusive apart from Halo for the year, you know. And I just wish they'd maybe just delayed the release by a year just so they could fix things, you know, so they're a bit more powerful, a bit more RAM under the hood. Yeah, I wasn't asking for them to be 4K compatible, but that's the way it's going to be in maybe 5 or 6 years, you know. Everyone's going to have 4K TVs as they come down in price. I'm not going to get one yet, but yeah, when you get a 4K OLED for reasonable prices, definitely getting one of those. And yeah, I just wish that they weren't so much like PCs and they're a bit more powerful, so that every single game that needed 60 frames a second could run at 60 frames a second with all the bells and whistles that the top PC games, like the super anti-aliasing and all that good stuff, because it does make a difference. I didn't realise until I got me a really good PC how much a difference it has to have everything on ultra. I mean, I bought Grand Theft Auto 5 3 times now. First on PlayStation 3, then PlayStation 4, and when I got my new PC, I got it on Steam, and the difference playing GTA 5 at 1440p in 60 frames a second on everything max, it's another game. I mean, it's a far bigger leap than PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. And yeah, I'm thinking, why weren't the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 meant to target the top of the range PC? And it didn't. Another thing that drives me mad, speaking about the PlayStation 4 recently, this is Gaming 5, sorry, it's the bloody USB 2 port on the PlayStation 4. It should only be a minute, but I upgraded my PlayStation 4 hard drive a couple of weeks ago, and it's a doddle to do. You just unscrew it, unsnap the case, unscrew the hard drive, put the new one in. But what you need to do beforehand is back up your entire hard drive to a USB, and because it's not USB 3, it's USB 2, it takes 6 hours to copy everything to your hard drive. So, and of course I forgot all about this, so I put my new drive in, put the old one back in again, booted it up, and then I didn't know it was USB 2 until I started doing the transfer to my USB drive. 6 bloody hours it took. Then put the new one in, then I restored it. It took 4 hours to restore, you know. I mean, that drives you mad. Xbox One, it's lovely, it's a piece of piss. USB 3, I've got a 2 terabyte drive in there, stick it in the back of the console, and it just adds to the storage. Really good, really easy, and I do applaud Microsoft for that decision. But yeah, come on Sony, what's the cost of a USB 3 port? I hope future revisions of the PlayStation 4 will have a USB 3 and they allow you to do what the Xbox One does and have the backup external, just so to complement your storage, you know, that'd be great. Anyway, sorry for waffling at the end there. That USB 2 one just popped to my mind there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching. I'm not sure when I'm going to do my next video. I'll try to keep up. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Cheers.